Hello, hello, hello. Whether it's the love of your life, it's your family, one of your besties, maybe somebody you works with, relationships can often be very complex and shape us. Today, we are going to explore how to transform your relationships in the Mattain way. So excited, let's go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Transforming Your Relationships Now. This is episode 29 of the Mattain, Attain the Life You Desire show. I am Manal, and I am so excited to journey on today's topic. One of the most common questions I get is about relationships, and today I'm going to tell you the secret to transforming your relationships. Before we get started, I want to invite you. My book, Transcending Anxiety from Fear to Freedom, is coming out. The big launch date is September 30th, and I am so excited. I have a free chapter for you if you are looking for insight on how to transcend anxiety and move your fear to freedom. Go to my website, www.mattain.me/begin now. Download the free chapter for you now, and you can start your journey to transcend anxiety. Anxiety is the expression of many things when we're in relationships that are suffering, or work, or life, or fear for the future, or stress. Anxiety is a common expression, and I will work with you to ultimately give you the keys to transcend it. So today, let us talk about transforming your relationships. So relationships can be in terms of intimate relationship. It could be your significant other. It could be family. It could be friends. It could be colleagues. But what I want to present for you and with you today is that relationships are a beautiful mirror of what is going on inside of you. So we are going to use today relationships as a catalyst, as a tool for ultimately understanding what you desire, what you want. Everything that happens on the outside world is a reflection of what's going on in your inside world. And relationships are the greatest and the best teacher for helping you understand the inside world. Now, many of us get stuck and we think that the relationship is what we want to fix, or the other person was want to fix, or what they are broken. Now, there's a premise that I have in everything that I say, that nothing is broken. You're not broken and they are not broken. But when you start to use relationships for the lens of self-growth, the lens of self-understanding, the lens of asking yourself, why am I attracting this? What are the stories? What are the beliefs that I end up saying with exasperation when I'm in this relationship? Like, they don't trust me. I'll ask you, do you trust yourself? They're not giving me the freedom. I'll ask you, do you feel that life is free? Do you empower yourself to live life freely? They're not giving me my value. They don't see my beauty. Do you see your beauty? Do you see how amazing you are? If you can start to recognize that the expressions that you have and the reflections that you have of relationships on you are actually a reflection of the biases that you hold on yourself, on your life journey, or on life as a whole, it can be really empowering to use your relationships to help you grow, and expand. Now, it might not always be easy to take the light and the limelight off of your child, your partner, your boss, your colleague, or what might be, and then turn around and put it on you. But I'll offer you that the only person that you can change is you. And when you go to search online or you listen to a lot of people, they'll talk about putting boundaries and talk about communication. And all of those are absolutely fabulous and necessary. But ultimately, if you can first do it from inspiration and understanding and a reflection of what ultimately that relationship is indicating of what is going on within you, it becomes very powerful, and those boundaries become natural. So for example, let me give you an example. 3 things. We're here on the journey for 3 things. So I'm expanding my example to going big in terms of what we're here. So in life, we're ultimately here for the unconditional 3. I teach about the unconditional 3. If it's my first time, if it's your first time to hear me, this will be your first time. If you follow me, you'll know. It's the unconditional 3. I believe that we are here to find and calibrate our unconditional worthiness, our unconditional freedom, and our unconditional love, happiness, joy. Now, doesn't those things sound like what we're looking for in relationships? We're looking for feeling worthy and being treated worthy by our partner, by ourselves. We're looking to feel free in the relationship, free to express ourselves and free to do and free to be. We're looking for that in our relationship. But I'd also suggest that we're looking at from within ourselves. We're looking for love in our relationship. We're looking for feeling loved and being loved. But isn't it that we're actually ultimately looking for to be love and to love ourselves? So when we start to recognize that relationships are beautiful, it's so wonderful to be in a relationship with family, with friends, with partners, with business and with partnerships or whatever it might be. And when it feels good, it usually feels good internally. And when it feels bad externally, there's usually internal feeling bad. So instead of it being about the relationship, it gets to be about a journey inward, a journey of liberation. Now, if you're in a relationship that is abusive, a relationship that's hurting you, physically, emotionally, then definitely that's a relationship to find a way to end it immediately and not to look at it from the lens of you're still growing, but you're starting to figure out, but you're growing by putting an immediate barrier between you and something that is not okay and not sustainable. But in things about this relationship, communicating in a way that you might not want to have been, or feeling that not worthy as you might want to feel, and it's just a natural growing and conflict that happens in day-to-day relationship, then it's about using that lens and just saying, wow, how do I see my interpretation of this relationship as an interpretation of how I see myself? And it could be, if we're talking about freedom and control, it could be the same thing. So if somebody's controlling you or you feel controlled, it's ultimately a desire for freedom. If somebody's not valuing you, it's ultimately a desire for worthiness. If somebody is making you feel sad and angry, it's ultimately a desire for happiness and love and ease and flow. So that's just the big insight that I wanted with this podcast, for us and you and me to recognize, to transform a relationship. I have the opportunity to transform myself. That if I can see how I express this relationship, it ultimately is an expression of what's going on within me. And if I can turn around and look at the relationship and use that lens to drill on within me, to see how I can calibrate to the unconditional 3, unconditional freedom, worthiness, and love, that relationship will transform. And more than that relationship, you will transform you. You will transform you. Every expression I have, every podcast, every meditation, every talk, every live is about what I talked about today. It's about seeing what's going on the outside and recognizing that it's what's going on in the inside. And relationships is one of the most powerful mechanisms, but it's also one of the most complex because of the nature of the relationships and the intimacy between it and our resistance to look in when we're looking out. But I hope that you have grown from this, and I hope that you've reflected on the power that every relationship can give you. If you like this, I know that you will love my book, Transcending Anxiety from Fear to Freedom, because it talks about the same empowering elements that we explore today with respect to relationships. If you go to my website, www.mattain.me/begin now, there is a free chapter to my book that will talk about the journey towards transcending anxiety and ultimately all of the empowering ways that you can look within to calibrate back to the unconditional three, your unconditional worthiness, freedom, and love. So excited to see you there. So excited to continue growing and expanding with you. My love, always.